Hey guys, good morning. It's good to be with you again. We're talking about 1 Thessalonians. It's a great book written by the Apostle Paul to encourage the believers in the church. He had planted this church a little while before, and they were enduring terrible persecution, and they were kind of ignorant about certain things. So Paul comes along, but he commends them. He has this early church, first century church, and Paul is commending them for a few things. He talks about their church being a church that is full of faith, hope, and love. And we're talking about those three things individually because he itemizes them. And he says that the first thing a great church is, it works according to its faith. Its faith, he says, has to have some outworking. You can't say, I have faith, and nothing is seen by your faith. You have faith, you can sing about it, talk about it, pray about it, but until you do something with it, it means nothing. It means very, very little. And so faith will lead us to works. I remember seeing that an advertisement on TV once where I think there was a group of old ladies came into a hamburger shop and they want to buy a hamburger. So they ordered a hamburger and the guy brought a great roll out. He put some cheese and some tomato and some lettuce and some mayonnaise and he wrapped this thing up and he gave it to the ladies. And the ladies looked at this hamburger and said, hey man, where's the beef? Where's the beef? And I wonder sometimes, it's a stupid thing, but I wonder sometimes if we couldn't say that about the church. We've got all the wrappings, we got all the stuff that makes us comfortable, all the stuff that, all the prayers and the things that we love to do. I take nothing from that. But I've got to ask you, where's the beef? The beef is found in the work that the church has been ordained to do. Now, in the book of James, James writes this. He says that faith without works is dead. It's dead. And so he encourages us. If we say we have faith, he wants to see our faith by our works. This is James speaking. Now, Paul is the famous one who talks about salvation by grace and grace alone. And he's right. That's true. But when we have received of the grace of God and live in faith, trusting him for all things, fulfilling his commission, faith comes out of grace like a natural outworking of fruit from a tree. And when we say we've received grace, that faith should be the next step with us. And when we have faith, we should be able to say, you know what, as much as God has done all these beautiful things for us, now it's my turn to actually serve him by doing these works of faith. We all know Hebrews tells us that without faith it's impossible to please God. So we can have all the singing, all the wrappings, but God wants to say, hey man, where's the beef? Where's the work? Where's the evidence of this grace being given to you and faith that has been had? I look at some of the great examples. Yesterday we spoke about Moses, and so many people are saying, well, if I have faith, I want to have faith, but how do I get faith? How does it happen? It doesn't happen until you do it. And when you stretch out your hand like Moses did over the Red Sea, and he took up that stick and he held it out, it was the faith that activated the power and the hand of God. Moses did not open the Red Sea. God did. But God did it in response to a simple act of faith. I want you to notice how simple these acts are of faith. Moses, can you just lift your stick and point it to the other side of the sea and use what you have in your hand? And Moses did that, and God responded with great power because Moses did what he could do. And then there's you look at Gideon, and God said to him, take your mere 300 men and go and fight 240,000 Amalekites, sorry, not Gibeonites, Amalekites. And it was that simple act of just trusting God. And he didn't use a sword, he used a lantern and he sang a song and he blew a trumpet, and God did the rest. As we've said before, and we'll probably say many times again, God will never ask you to do what you can't do, because he does what you can't do. If you do the possible, remember we've said God will do what? He'll do the impossible. So this thing of faith is not as big a deal as you make it. You don't have to open Red Seas. You don't have to kill 100,000 Midianites. You don't have to do all that, the Amalekites. You don't have to do all that kind of stuff. God does that. Jehoshaphat, can you sing a song walk ahead of the people, get the worship leaders. Joshua said, yeah, I could do that. God didn't ask him to do anything impossible. He asked him to do what was possible. So these works of faith are vitally important, because this is what God does to change the world, to make the world what he wants it to be, and to get the people in the world to sit up and take notice of our faith. Without works, we just drive and blow away and go home. But with faith, all things can happen. So let's think about that today. Maybe God's calling you to a simple act of faith. For goodness sake, people, do it, because there's a lot at stake. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.